Hello, this is my video presentation for my cultural assignment, and in this presentation I will be discussing about a patient who came to the dialysis unit, and this patient was a transferred patient from another facility. So when the patient, it's just an overview of the patient, so he was transferred from Puerto Rico because of during that time there was a hurricane and then their unit shut down, so they have to fly patients to our hospital because of the treatment. So choose a cultural spiritual practice or belief that impact cultural and spiritual care of client considering the individual race, ethnic, economic, gender, and age as component of individualized care. So it was a 77-year-old male patient who came to the hospital for a transfer of care to our service. So this patient, we didn't have much information with him, and then he wasn't really conversant, and he couldn't speak English at all. So during the care, we didn't know that there's considerations for his treatment. So he was a Seventh-day Adventist, and then of course in dialysis treatment there are times that their blood pressure drop, and we have to release albumin. So in our hospital, the policy is for dialysis treatment inpatient, so albumin is also a standing order. So we didn't know that dialysis SVD patients, Seventh-day Adventist patients, they didn't get blood product, and then we didn't know that he had this in his chart. So good thing that one of my nurse also was reading the notes that was transferred to us, and then he said that this patient is Seventh-day Adventist and that they couldn't get albumin. They couldn't receive albumin. So identify this belief or practice in the care delivery system. So we accepted the patient for dialysis without knowing the actual full review of the chart, and we had a medical abstract from the other clinic, and we just followed the order from the doctor's treatment. So that was the problem that I was thinking, is that we should probably consider as well the patient's religious belief in treatment. That is not just because they are transferred from a facility and then straight to our dialysis unit, then we can just release the order without knowing if there's any restrictions in their belief. So the solution that we had after this problem had happened, so on our dialysis order, so we also follow the recommendation if they need to receive albumin or if they can have only bolus of fluid. So create opportunity to experience selected aspect of care. So for our treatment, we always, if the patient can talk, so it's part of the social work responsibility if they need to have their risks and benefits and the treatment. So it's also discussed in their plan. So consent needs to be signed with the patient in the consent. So blood products are discussed, and blood transfusions are also part of the consent if it's needed. Describe the experience that you have had with this practice. So for this certain example that I gave about this dialysis patient, so after it happened, so we are very much more watchful with our actions as a nurse doing dialysis at bedside, because sometimes these are small things for us, but these are like a big problem if the patient have to complain, or if there will be a lawsuit, and then we will lose our license, and of course we will get fired. So explain why this practice has affected healthcare. So we nurses need to consider as well the religious practice, the culture, the patient's advance directives, if there's any in the chart. Not just because we are treating the patient, we're helping them, but sometimes it turns out that if we are treating the patient and then we don't care any advance directives of the patient, we might add harm instead of helping the patient at all. So that ends my cultural assignment. Thank you very much.